Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For this video, we're going to discuss the 1959 horror film 4D Man. Yeah, there was an actual movie called 4D Man. And it stars Robert Lansing and Lee Merriweather as the two of the three main characters. I'm drawing a blank on the third guy. This film is a really basic horror film where a scientist does an experiment on himself and he goes nuts. And eventually dies, spoiler, eventually dies at the end of the film. Of course, so it's Robert Lansing as a scientist who worked with this substance where nothing can get through it. You can't break it, cut it, whatever. And his brother, Robert Lansing's brother, in the film, also trying to do an experiment where he could pass objects through it. Kind of like a ghost, where you could pass through something. And he worked it with a lead pencil through this material. I forgot what it was called. And no matter what what we were trying to do was and he couldn't do anything more than just one pencil. So Robert Lansing says to him, says to Robert Lansing's character, why don't you give it a shot, see if we could think, you could maybe think of something I haven't thrown off yet. He said, okay, I give it a shot. And he jams a lead pipe in so hard that his hand went through this material. And Robert Lansing knows that he could pass through anything. That's what we call him a 4D man, because he could pass through anything. And another way to come up with a 4D thing, for the title for the movie, but now he could pass through anything. And if he passes through a human being, it will kill him. Or her, whatever the case may be. And that's what he was doing. He trying to convince somebody about the experiment, what's going on, and his hands go right through the person and kill them. And not only kill them, but aged that person. And Robert Lansing was getting older as well. The more people who were killed, the older he was getting. Robert Lansing was getting. And it was really kind of freaky. And eventually, of course, he dies at the end. And eventually, because trying to stop the film of nuclear radiation, that didn't stop because everything went through him, and he goes, "I'm indestructible," and then he goes through a wall, and Robert Lansing does at the end of this film, and his hand goes right through the wall, and then it just stops, and then his hand slowly goes back into the wall, and that's unfortunately how the movie ended, and it ended with a question. It says the end with a question mark. Just like the end of The Blob, which came out the year before. And the reason for that is because the guy who produced the movie, the 1958 classic, The Blob, with Steve McQueen, also produced this film. So he did it the same way. But fortunately, unlike The Blob movie, when they had the movie Return of the Blob, and then of course the 1988 remake, they never made a sequel to the 4D Man. I guess maybe because for the special effects purposes, who knows. They never made a sequel to 4D Man, but but again, maybe because this movie is not that good. I mean, I watched this movie and it's not that true. And when you do recognize Robert Lansing for being on the famous episode of Star Trek called Assignment Earth, which also co-starred a very, very young Terry Gore. He was in that episode, and of course Lee Merriweather, of course, was also in a Star Trek episode called That Which Survives, and she played Catwoman in the 1966 Batman film. So you had two people who starred in a Star Trek episode starring in this movie. But then, of course, there's no such thing as Star Trek yet back in 1959. But Robert Lansing was quite good in this movie, even though he eventually goes nuts towards the end of this film. But his performance is I mean, he was very good in this. So was Lee Merriweather, former Miss America, I might add. You know, talking about Hubba Hubba, that's it right there. But other than that, I was saying that these two actors, there's not much they could say about this movie, because I do like the special effect, even though it's kind of cheesy. Because it is you did it with 1959, and you didn't have CGI. Obviously, you didn't have computers back then in 1959. To see the special effects happening, it's really, really cool for that time, for 1959, to see somebody actually passing through walls, or passing through a window, or a bank vault. And that's what Robert Lassie was doing as soon as he found out, hey, I could go into a bank and steal money. And no know what happened. And that's exactly what happened. One particular sequence when he's stealing jewelry at a jewelry store, goes into a bank, actually goes through a bank vault, and steals about $50,000 from this bank. And no one gonna know how the guy did it. And he did that by going through the walls and through the vault. No matter how thick the vault door was, he was able to go through it. And so that type of thing was kind of like, it's kind of like the Invisible Man on acid, because the Invisible Man that can't go through physical solid objects, but the 4D Man can. So because it's kind of like a modern take on the Invisible Man, but in this case, you could see Robert Lassie, and he could physically go through the walls, which the Invisible Man couldn't. So that kind of like a twist in the Invisible Man story. I didn't realize it until just now. It's kind of like a version of that. But it is a good science fiction movie. If you just want to see Lee Meriwether and Robert Lassie in the film before they did the respective Star Trek episodes, check out 4D Man. And especially since now we're in October, it's cool to watch a cool movie like, a crazy science fiction movie like this. And that's what it is, a crazy science fiction film. So that's my review of the movie 4D Man. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com, that's all WDY. C.com, that's our homepage and Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.